Hello, everybody, and welcome to Perfectly Me, Christy. I am Christy, and I'm coming at you with my weekly check-in for my 52-week health journey. Many of you know that have been following me. I was inspired by Marcy over at Scho.Fit, SCHO.FIT. She has amazing content and a lot of great offerings at no cost. So if you're looking to dive into a health journey, I highly recommend her. She covers everything from nutrition to exercising at all different levels. If you are somebody that's just starting out and needs to exercise in a chair, she's got you covered. If you're more advanced and can go at a higher level, she's got you covered. If you just want to walk, and that fits best in your day, she's got you covered. So she focuses on health because if you focus on health, fit happens. So check her out. I don't think you would be disappointed. Give her a like and subscribe to her channel, and you'll get updated on all of her weekly topics and exercise drops. So this month I've been focusing on a sleep diet. As many of you know, I already have healthy eating and movement in place. I had a great foundation for that already. So just going through the different aspects of what actually makes you healthy, and it's a lot more than just food and exercising. So I really had to dig deep and dive into what's going on in my life and how can I make some changes to make sure that my body is working at its most optimal levels. And I really have been, not good to myself in some categories that are pretty serious, and we might be able to get away with them when we're young, but the older we get, our body is like, no, 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 no. Not gonna happen. So sleep is one of those things. I have never been a sleeper, not even as a young child. So that's been my focus, and knowing that it's okay to shut my brain down, give me time to rejuvenate. And again, as many of you know that have been following me, I'm even taking that approach with my exercise. I'm not trying to do like really hardcore exercise. I'm just literally walking on most days and giving my body just a chance to recover. And I feel like it has been very beneficial to me, and I do feel like I'm seeing a lot more results in a lot of different areas of my life. So I'm pretty proud of myself. As many of you know that have been following me, I did start taking melatonin at the beginning of this month to help me just get into that sleep. And right away, I noticed that when I was sleeping, it was more of that solid, deep sleep. I have a really hard time getting into that deep sleep, which is so important for your body to recover. And to really shut your brain down. I like barely never even dreamed because I just really never fell asleep. So even when I was laying in bed, I wasn't really sleeping. So just in the last 15 days, I've increased my average nightly sleep by an hour and 28 minutes. So last week I ended up being the average daily sleep was 5 hours and 48 minutes. And that's like amazing for me. Like there's been so many weeks that I averaged like 2 to 3 hours a night. Three and a half was like, whoa, just like, that's amazing. But getting these extra couple hours every day, I'm feeling it, and my body is getting adjusted where it's like, okay, I want to go to bed, and I'm not like still at midnight, just Energizer Bunny, just going hardcore. So it's definitely helped me maintain some better routines during the day also. And with that said, many of you know I am just pretty much walking for my movement throughout the day, and I'm averaging 5.71 miles a day right now. And I do try and break those up throughout the day. When I first started, I was just whatever, try and do it all at once. But I have found that if I break it up during the day, I just am better focused through the day. I need that break from the computer. and just to let my brain just concentrate. I've been doing an audio book on something of interest and just giving me some me time, which I don't do that very often. So I'm starting to crave it, guys. Like, when you start treating yourself right, you really crave and you don't want to give up those things. And I'm there right now. So I'm really proud of myself because, as many of you know, going into this journey is about putting yourself at the front of the list. And I really feel like I'm taking those baby steps to put myself at the front of the list. And now I'm expecting to stay at the front of the list, which I've never been in that position before in my life. So I feel extremely grateful for that. I'm also super proud of myself that coming into this, even though I eat very healthy, the calorie intake at the end of the day would range from 500 to, if I was super, super lucky, would be around 900 calories a day. And it wasn't that I wasn't eating. It's just the calories that I was taking in, the food that I was taking in, just were very low calorie items. They were super dense. So I felt full, but they just did not have enough calories for me. So I am up to an average of 13 to 1400 calories a day now. Again, I wake up and I want to eat. Some days I think I just fasted way too long, not on purpose, just my body just was not ever hungry. My brain wasn't signaling correctly. And so a lot of times I wouldn't even start to eat until like around noon or 1 o'clock. And then I would have a lunch, and then I would have a dinner, and then I might have some nuts or something at the end of the day, or popcorn or whatever. But now I'm actually eating just great meals throughout the day. And most of the time I'm even dialing it down where I don't have to grab something extra at the end of the day. Like, I'm able to put those calories into just 3 meals without having to worry about snacks or all that. So I'm super excited about that. Along with this sleep habit, or sleep diet, I'm really focusing on retraining my brain. And as you guys know from the very beginning, I really from the beginning said that I was going to focus on using some different terminology with myself. And so I call movement throughout my day versus exercising. Because exercise has been a huge part of my world for so long. And it's always been that aggressive, competitive, not for enjoyment, like just not for enjoyment. So I've been focused on movement versus exercise, and movement being more enjoyable. So like this weekend, I went out and did a beautiful walk in my area, and I live a little out of town. I walk, along the river and all of that, and just enjoy the beauty of my surroundings. I am super guilty on going on amazing, beautiful hikes. And I couldn't even tell you what the surroundings look like, because I just am programmed in my brain that I've got to get through it quickly, run most of the time, whatever, what's the fastest, what's the longest, and the shortest period of time that I can do it in. And that has always been the way that I've approached everything. So I am really trying to focus on just enjoying the process, enjoying the food that I'm eating, enjoying the prep of the food that I'm eating, enjoying the movement that I'm getting throughout the day. And even if it's just movement that I am walking in my house, I'm plugging in with an audiobook and really enjoying that process of just some stimulation for myself and not just busy work all the time. So right now is a huge focus on just reprogramming what is in my brain. Because from a very young age, I was told by the most important women in my life that I was too big, that my booty was too round, I was too curvy. I did not look like my aunts and my mom, who were all very, very tiny framed. And so it was just this thing. I was the oldest granddaughter. I was close enough in age. My mom had me at a very young age, so I was kind of almost always thought of as one of the sisters versus just a child. And so I was a lot of times held to expectations of what my aunts looked like to what my mom looked like, and they were all very, very tiny framed. And I am not a tiny framed person. And so in my brain, I've just always, nothing's ever good enough. Even when I am at my ultimate best weight for me, I look amazing to my spouse or anybody else around me. I never see myself as looking healthy and being the best me. I still am criticizing myself on this image of what I think I'm supposed to look like because everybody was trying to make me be in that little tiny bubble of what they thought I should be. So I'm just trying so hard to reprogram that. I've also had a really hard time with dropping weight in my adult years. And I always look back and I remember I was pregnant like basically 3 years in a row. And everybody told me I bounced always right back right after birth. I even left the hospital with my second one being a smaller weight than I was before I got pregnant. And I worked out through all of my pregnancies and everything. But with my third child, they ended up having heart surgery. And with my third child, when I was pregnant, everybody would say to me, "Oh, well, good luck. That third child, you just never lose the baby weight. It's just so hard to get rid of that. That's the third child. It just does everything to you." And so I just had it programmed in my brain that I wasn't going to be able to lose the weight. And it has been a struggle. And a lot of times I think about it, and we literally were in a hospital for 3 months after he was born. He had two back-to-back heart surgeries. And the amount of stress that you go through as a parent during that time, you don't know if your child's going to make it through or whatever. So I did have a really hard time losing the baby weight. Obviously, it's not a normal situation at all. And I think that stress just triggered me in a completely different way. And I just have been in that fight flight mode for so long that I just have allowed that to be like, well, I just can't lose the weight because, of this event that happened in our world. So, I'm just trying to reprogram my brain and just not allow those outside influences, even from the doctors. When I don't go to the doctors often, but when I have gone to the doctor, it has been, I don't understand why I cannot drop the weight. I'm doing all the things that I know to do. Everything looks perfect on paper. And they will say, well, some people are just going to be heavy. You can still be healthy and heavy. So I don't want to accept that. It's not, I know I can be a healthier version of me. And that includes being in, a smaller number on the scale. And so I'm just going to reprogram. I got to get all the garbage that has been layered and embedded in my brain just out of the way. So it cannot stop me from accomplishing my goals. So that's where I'm at, guys. This is week 10. It's been an amazing journey. I am really loving it. I'm so proud of myself on the mental growth that I'm having through this. Like I said, it's the other pieces, they're good for me. And so if you're struggling and you feel like and you're not sabotaging yourself, and luckily I don't sabotage myself, I keep going, but I need to be nicer to myself. And I did have a little struggle last week. Just like, like I'm doing everything. And why is this number on the scale not working? Guys, guess what? I just was like, okay, fine. Had your little pity party. And you need to focus on this self-talk, right? And literally started focusing on that self-talk, and 2 pounds dropped literally within a couple days of just saying, I'm not doing this to myself. I'm not doing it. So if you're struggling and you have negative self-talk going on in your head, focus on that. Make it a priority. Be grateful for the things that are going on correct in your life, that correct with your health. I mean, if you're healthy, then great. And you've got just to find the little things that are keeping you from where you want to be completely in your health journey. So that's where I'm at. I will continue to, keep my eating on track. I will continue to adjust my sleeping patterns so I'm getting more and more. And I will continue to correct that self-talk in my head that I've constantly put in myself, that I'm not good enough, that I'm never going to be the weight that I want to be, or I'm not going to be able to wear the clothes that I want to wear, or whatever it may be. I'm done with it. It's too exhausting. So, and though I don't feel exhausted, I really do feel like going through December, doing the de-stress December, really had some huge aha moments. The more weeks you go through, a little bit more layer gets pulled back, and you're like, all right, I got some more shit to deal with. So that's where I'm at. I'm excited, and I'm excited to see how much more sleep I can add to my day. So have an amazing week. I will catch you all next week.